Hello, hello. Good afternoon. What an amazing session, yeah? What an amazing session. Good afternoon. Hello. Good to be here again. So we have another amazing session for you. And as you could tell from the title, how new platforms engage with fans, we're going to be talking about physical platforms. We will be talking about digital platforms. We will be talking about data platforms. We will really be exploring all of the platforms possible that we as sports enthusiasts interact with. We have amazing individuals, amazing leaders in the industry, and I'm sure that you guys will love it. My name is Munir Zak. I will be the moderator today. I'm the CEO of Next Sports, a US company that has its headquarters based in Valencia, Spain. And I'll start inviting our guests over. So why don't I have George, please? May you join us? George from the NBA. Yeah. George, can I take this seat, please? Pierre-Louis, maybe have you, please, from Orange. Thank you. Welcome, please. Aviv from WSC Sports. Welcome, welcome. And last but not least, Belen. Welcome, Belen. Fantastic. So I could introduce these individuals for you, but you can read all about their profiles on LinkedIn or on any online platform. So we're not going to waste lots of time telling you about the very long resumes or yet to be long resumes of the individuals. Let's start directly with this session. Okay? While we were backstage, Belen, you and I decided that we'll start with you. We'll give you the honor to introduce yourself a little bit, please, and then to throw a question at whoever you would like of the experts here, and then we'll pick it up from there. Please go ahead.
Well, thank you so much for introducing me. Basically, my name is Belen, and I'm a young sports maker, actually alumni from the last 2 years here in Paris. So it's a pleasure to be back. But basically this year it changed a little bit because I'm currently working in the sports industry as a digital project manager at Hurricane Group, extreme sports company based in France, but doing events, crazy events worldwide, where digital was one of the points since COVID, because events were not possible with COVID. So we did the FIS Montpellier, that the FIS is the Festival International des Sports Extrêmes. And we actually created the IFIS. It was an online contest where all the riders from all over the world had the chance to participate in submitted a video, and also where fans had an important weight and they could voting for their favorite videos at the same time as international judges. And basically, the both note of between of them, it was the final one, so fans were at the core of our business. I'm a digital project manager and a sports lawyer, and what I'm doing now, it's we are creating the same IFIS, but for the Olympics, for the IOC, with the new campaign that the name is Let's Move. The launch was like 2 weeks ago, and we are putting so many efforts to engage not just like riders and sports or sport people. It's just also about fans, inspiring people to participate in sports and extreme sports. So it's a pleasure to be here, also to talk with such a great leaders in the sports industry. So I believe that my first question, it's for you, George. I want to know actually what is the NBA doing nowadays to engage fans through digital?
That's a great question.
It's an open one.
Hello, everyone. Great to be here. So, starting point, what we make sure we do as a baseline is make sure that our content is available to people anywhere in the world, regardless of the country, the platform, or the time zone they live in. And we do that through our social media channels, through our partner, our broadcast distribution partners, as well as our own and operated apps. So we make sure that that content lives, is easily accessible, and as you know, as consumption goes by, it's a lot more personalized, depending on what your habits and your preferences are. That as the beginning and the center of things. Over this past year, we've launched our new NBA app, which is now supported by our own technology, our own platform. Closer? Yeah? All right. Should I go again? No. So launched our new NBA app, supported by our own technology. Within that app, there is a lot of content that's free, that's personalized, that's available to everyone. But there's also two very unique products. One that we call NBA ID, which is a membership program. So depending on your member profile, the team you like, the players you like, we reward your behavior, your engagement, your consumption. And then League Pass, which is our subscription product, which is an alternative way to watch NBA games live and on demand.
Sounds so cool.
Thank you, Belen, thank you, George. I'd like to go with you. You're the CEO of Orange Events. You have a huge event happening in the city of Paris in 407 days. All the world will be eyes on Paris. Tell us about your role as a company and what can the fans on the ground expect?
Yes, we are currently preparing the Tour de France, which is going to start in a few weeks from Spain. It's going to be a beautiful event. We are also preparing the World Rugby Cup very soon, and Paris 2024, which will start very shortly because we have some test event happening in Marseille and other places. And we are providing basically all the telecommunication solutions for the organizer and for the fans. And we are talking more specifically about live experience with TV, with a 4K quality connected. You may be thinking about cameras embarked in boats, in cycles, even in horse or drones, connected in 5G, private 5G, and we can provide imagine the opening ceremony on the Seine and all the boats navigating down the Seine. We'll have also cameras embarked on boats, and all the spectators will see live all these beautiful images that they would never be able to see without 5G and private 5G.
Amazing, Pierre-Louis, thank you. Aviv, your company specializes in taking live feed or non-live feed and then cutting it up and chunking it so that everyone who loves watching events can engage more and more with the event, whether it's live or post-live. Tell us a little bit more about what you guys are currently working on.
Okay, thanks for the introduction. I'm Aviv from Tel Aviv, from WSC Sports. I'm sure everybody must have seen some of the content that we make because we work with everybody in sports media. Our friends here, George from the NBA, we've been working now for 9 years together, helping to create all the short-form content that you see. So everything on social, on the app, on the websites, much of it is automated and powered by our system. And all the NBA teams that are creating content internationally and distributing it to fans are helping, using our system to help localize and create tailored content for each market. So for example, we have a great example of Rudy Gobert's highlights in France. The same night he had 6 blocks. Steph Curry had 53 points, which was the biggest story of the day, and that was the most viewed video globally. But in France, Rudy Gobert's video had double the views, right? Because this is where the fan base is of Rudy Gobert as a French player. And then the same way for sports fans globally, there's the local hero. Each of us has the people we follow and we like to see. So helping to really automatically create content and distribute it and create the different storylines, different formats, different platforms and distribution is what we do for our partners. So we now work with over about 350 sports media partners globally. It's the leagues, it's the broadcasters, it's clubs, and helping them to maximize how they create short-form content, distribute it, and give it to the fans. And just to shout out to the app that George mentioned, there's a lot of vertical content now in the app as well. So we have also a technology now that can automatically crop the video from the live. First, our system, as you described, it automatically identifies every play in the broadcast. Then it can also crop it and stitch it together into stories, into like a TikTok feed and all that experience, bringing it to the owned and operated environment of our partners.
And I will say that's the best performing content on the app. So big shout out back to you.
George, I was going to ask you,
Thank you.
you're working at one of the most prominent sports properties in the world, right? It's maybe one of the unique sports properties that does have a global appeal, right? I don't think there's anywhere in the world that you can go and say NBA and people will say, hold on, what is this, right? When you're thinking about new platforms for fan engagement, which is the topic of today. Now, how does the NBA think about this topic? How do you approach it? How do you understand what people in France would be more?
That's a great question. I think the answer is twofold. On the one hand, we want to be where our fans are. So if TikTok's picking up, which it did many years ago, we wanted to be present there. Instagram before that. So there is an organic evolution of the social media ecosystem, and we want to be present across the board because that's where our fans are. And to your point, we've got north of 2 billion fans around the world. The second one, which is a bit deeper and has to do more with our own and operated presence, it starts with acknowledging that fandom or the journey to fandom is not the same for everyone. Some people become fans by watching highlights, some others by watching live games, some others by playing the game of basketball, some others because they want to interact with their friends and their peers through different basketball experiences. And our job is to build accessibility, but also products and services for all of them. NFTs is an excellent example that obviously became huge a couple of years ago. I know a lot of people who got engaged with the NBA Top Shot, which is the NFT marketplace for NBA, without being basketball or NBA fans, but they were really attracted by that product.
Absolutely. But Belen, maybe going to you as a young sports maker, over here we're talking about new ways of delivering content to sports. From your perspective, how, as a fan, as a sports viewer, right? How do you interact with content? Like, what do you look for?
Well, I think that in the case of NBA, when I'm looking for, when I watch some content, first of all, it's highlights for sure. We were discussing also with him that you go on the point, but you are trying to be part of the game. Sometimes you don't want just to watch content. Yeah, for sure, you are a big follower, but at the same time, you are always, all the time, looking forward to be part of the organization and to have the stamp on you. So I think that just like the initiatives could go in this way a little bit, just put the attention of the fans, but at the same time, letting them to be part of the game.
Thank you, Belen. Pierre-Louis, if we may go back to you, you're working at a telco, right? You will be heavily involved in not only everything that's happening in Paris, but I'd say in France and in Europe at large. What should people who will be watching the events live on the grounds, right, whether they're watching the Tour de France on the streets, or whether they're going to be watching the Rugby World Cup in different venues, or the Paris 2024 Olympic and Paralympic Games, what can they expect while they are in the venue, on the roads?
Well, what they want to is to participate to what they are seeing. So, for example, we have developed three things. One first example is about the rules of a game. Sometimes you are assisting to some game and you don't really understand the rules. And if you are watching TV, you know the rules because they are explaining to you, but in stadium it's not the case. So, for example, take the example of fencing, Yes, fencing as a good example. You don't understand the rules, and you have an application with an IA bot, which is giving you the rules of the game, and so you can follow closely the game. The second example is about the comments. When you are in a stadium, you don't have the comments. You have it on TV, but it's very difficult to watch TV to hear the comments, and it's not real time, so you may need to have the comments. So we have developed an application also to have the comments, so when you are watching something, a game, you have all the comments. But we are also thinking about inclusion. It's very important for us, and we have developed with a startup another solution with a tablet, a haptic tablet, which is physically helping some blind people to follow a game with a token, and they can follow the ball and understand much better what's going on the screen. So it's really developing some solutions for developing the immersiveness of the fans with the games that they are assisting.
Well, this is a great segue for my question to you, Aviv, because you guys at WSC Sports, you are toying and experimenting with artificial intelligence and applying it to your solutions. What can you share with us?
Okay, so first I'll start by saying WSC Sports' core technology is machine learning and AI, and we've been doing this for 12 years. So all the content is basically generative content based on our analysis of the footage. However, the technology is now fast forwarded, and there's all these tools, and we all now see and look and fear what is coming, right? So there's now much more capabilities, and we're exploring what's possible with suggesting content, really personalizing further, but also letting the computer contribute with the creative. So actually, we have a video of a short video demo that I wanted to show you guys, how you can actually retell the story of a match using generative commentary.
If we can launch the video, and maybe you can walk us through it, Aviv. Please go ahead.
You can put audio of the video.
Joaquin, Memphis to Pi. Joaquin is injured.
Basically, we're seeing here a regular broadcast from the Liga with the commentary. This is how we're used to seeing it, but we can actually train a model with any voice and recreate this and tell the story using generative text and go wild with it.
Right, it's Snoop Dogg on the mic, and we got some serious action on the field. The Bulls had the ball, passed it over to Memphis. Memphis took control of the ball. Damn, he got skills. He's silker than a smoker with a drop of the shoulder that leads his defenders in the days.
So for those of you that couldn't hear, we have Snoop Dogg here basically narrating with a rap song, fully automatically created, the same play that we've just seen. Now imagine you could have your talent comment, but let's take Shaquille O'Neal commentating on the NBA, but in French, okay, and distribute it to the French audience, right? So this is basically limitless. Just wanted to show you a small teaser, but we have a bunch of cool things we're looking into, and the future is endless.
Aviv, so if I understood this correctly, in the video that you showed us in the second part, there was a rap song that was being generated automatically by a machine. There was no person.
With a voice, because I couldn't hear. I don't know if you all could hear. This was Snoop Dogg, and it was introducing. This is Snoop Dogg talking and narrating the game.
Snoop Dogg singing to the game,
talking about what's happening. Yeah.
My goodness. George, nice. I mean, these examples, I mean, you guys must be experimenting with this.
These things excite me so much. And, the ceiling is basically, there is no ceiling, right? So I love that. Shaq is fluent in French, so he'd absolutely do that. But we experiment a lot in that space as well. I think recently, a few months ago, a clip of ours became very viral, which was our commissioner, Adam Silver, basically showcasing the future of an NBA broadcast that is personalized to the degree where basically you take a picture of yourself that creates an avatar within the NBA app, and then you're able to insert that avatar to the live broadcast of the game, essentially replacing any of the 10 players on the court, which made me really happy because that's the only way my family can see me playing at an NBA game. So, and that's one of the ideas, and obviously the one that became the most viral, but that's obviously a really rich space for us as well that we're looking at very, very closely.
We've seen that at the NBA Tech Summit, and you guys have been leading the charge on what's possible. But all of our partners are looking for how to figure out where to compete, basically. You're competing with every other type of entertainment. and the platforms keep popping up. You're saying if TikTok is now popular, we want to be on TikTok. Every other day there's a new platform and a new format that you need to be catering to, so the ability to scale is crucial.
Absolutely. And Pierre-Louis, if we may come back to you, over here we're exploring machine-generated commentary, machine-generated imagery at some point as well. When you are working with your partners, the properties that are putting on the event, the properties that are thinking about how to engage with their audience, what are some of the recommendations that you are bringing to the table? How are you challenging them to think outside of the box?
First, what we're doing, it has to work 100%. So, because all what you are doing is going live, so it has to be under control. But if we think about the future, it's about volumetric viewing. Okay, volumetric viewing is about filming in real time with a lot of cameras, an artist or an athlete, but it's not yet live because it's a replay, and after you can go around him, but it's a lot of processing power, a lot of bandwidth, and it's not live. The next thing will be to go live for this kind of solution. It's not going to be ready for 2024 Paris, but perhaps for the next Olympics, but we are still working on that. Again, we need to improve the power processing and the bandwidth to have access to this really intrusive, immersive experience of the sport.
Amazing. Belen, as someone who consumes sports content, and trying to project ourselves to the future where you might have like different voices and graphics, and you don't really know who's actually creating what and who's actually speaking on top of content and so on. Are there any concerns? Is there like a fine line that you would say, hold on, I would like to consume a content, but I would like to know who's actually commentating,
Yeah, I know what you mean. Actually, like, if I have any concerns for the future regarding, So before, I was discussing just with Aviv regarding, lots of studies says that young people, they prefer to watch highlights over the full game or the full competition, because we are really fast. We want answers like this, hey, sometimes you are not patient at all. So I was asking him wow, I love what are you doing. I think that it's crazy, but do you think there is any kind of negative impact about are you taking any, taking care about, authenticity of sports and to engage fans to continue watching the whole match or something like that?
Negative impact? No. You're answering the question from Munir about, as a sports fan, what would you like? The thing is, each of us are different, right? And there's different fans that like different things, but we do see trends. We see that the younger the fan is, the more likely they are to watch in a certain way, right? So they're more likely to watch using streaming platforms, or just join the game at the fourth quarter, at the end, or just follow players more than follow the team. And actually, when the player moves, they go with the player, and now they're fans of a new team. And some of them just catch up on stats, and it makes them really invested fans and caring about it, but they are much less likely to sit through a 2-hour, 3-hour match. But that's why I think the challenge of servicing sports fans is continuously developing and growing, and that's why I think that we're supporting this across the board.
So, please go ahead.
I'll echo what Aviv said. It's an attention economy. We all fight for share of attention before we even get to the share of wallet. So you got to make it easily accessible, easily discoverable, and as personalized as possible. And that's table stakes. That's not innovation.
And just to add, the business is developing. A lot of our partners are now going direct to consumer, trying to figure out how to service fans in fantasy games, in betting, in different markets, distribution, languages, and ad-supported channels, and also all sorts of businesses that are diversifying for sports media.
While also catering to everyone's needs, right? You do have your super fans, who want to wait, who want to watch the whole game. They want to watch it live, but you have like the new generations, or like the new fans who can be of any age, can be anywhere in the world. With only 5 minutes to go, I would like to close with one very high-level question to each and every one of you. In your capacity, working at the organizations that you're currently working at, what excites you the most when you think about the potential that is out there?
I mean, it's so many different things, but if I had to pick one, what really excites me is the journey of kids becoming young players, becoming professional athletes. We have a great example coming out of this city this year with the NBA draft that's just around the corner, Victor Wembanyama. That's the part that, to me, having played basketball very badly as a young kid, that's what resonates with me the most.
Okay. What excites you the most, Pierre-Louis?
For me, it's connecting the people to the game, locally or remotely, or whether because you are late to reach the stadium and you want to see on your smartphone. It's really transmitting the emotion by connecting people live and real time.
Amazing. Aviv, for you?
I'm excited about all these new innovations that we're talking about, and for us at WSC, now doing this over a decade, having all sports content basically come through our platforms. We do this now in 24 different branches of sports for over 140,000 sports broadcasts a year. So we get all this data of how the content looks and of all sports and all the distribution channels. So what the possibilities are for changing sports consumption in general, like what else can you do with it, and how can you service each fan with their own preference. I might be an NBA fan, but I also like Paris Saint-Germain, and I also like I don't know, Messi now that he's leaving, whatever. So now how can you cater to each fan? And with all the evolution of technology, this is going to be amazing.
Amazing. Belen, what excites you the most?
Yeah. Actually, through digital, we discover so many talent all around the world that normally they are athletes that they are not allowing themselves to participate in competitions because of economical reasons. So I think that digital platforms are the tools, the perfect tools to inspiring people from all over the world, and not just like fans, if not like inspiring them to be active, to practice sport, and just to be engaged with the sport at all. So digital is for sure the way.
I have to say that watching whatever sports event live is magical. Having been this very recent Saturday at the Olympic Stadium in Istanbul watching the Champions League final, I have to say it's magical. I don't think any other experience, digital or non-digital, could replace that for someone who is a football fan. Yet at the same time, I was thinking about my kids, right, who are 17 and 9, and I was thinking that had I brought them with me, they would have had not such a good experience as the one that I was having, right? Then I was thinking about how important it is to build around the 90-minute event or 120-minute event or however long the event is, all of the different stories, whether in real time, in near real time, or post real time, so that anyone who is passionate or who is simply interested, right, can actually access the event, right, in their own personalized way. On their own personalized platform. So thank you so much, George. Thank you, Pierre-Louis. Thank you, Aviv. Thank you, Belen, so much. Let's give these guys a warm applause, please.
Thank you, guys.